Okay, quick video. The other day I was talking about Christine Blasey Ford, her lawyer uncovered a revelation saying that she was motivated by politics and motivated by the abortion question. I also read an article that says clouds are white. Um, anyway, what happened was her female lawyer, Katz, the name was Katz, was speaking at a college, and she said, when Kavanaugh takes a scalpel to abortion, you'll know why, blah, 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 blah. And that's what motivated Christine to come forward. Well, I'm going to try to put a link to that video if I can below, and I'm going to put a link to the Life News article that I read it on just a minute ago. And like I said in my last video, every single time a Republican president picks a Supreme Court nominee since 1972, the question is this going to be the deciding vote to overturn Roe v. Wade? And keep in mind, many years ago, abortion was safe, legal, and rare, and abortion was the last option. Nowadays, we have abortion to birth, underage girls having abortions. Planned Parenthood was caught selling dead babies' body parts. I saw the Planned Parenthood videos, which included a 5-hour video, and in the 5-hour video, which I saw a tray of dead baby body parts. They were going, that's a spleen, that's a heart, that's a leg, that's an arm, like they were going to a salad. That's a cucumber, that's a tomato, that's an olive, that's a crouton, that's a okay. And there was one of the individuals in the room literally whipped out his hero sandwich and was eating his lunch within 2 feet of these dead baby body parts. Okay. Abortion has become the worst thing ever. Okay, they cook babies alive, they tear babies apart. Okay, so you have to be really, 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 really sick to support abortion now. Except it may be the first trimester, or maybe rape, incest, or life of the mother. But people that are supporting abortion up to, the heartbeat bill, the question is, if you're against the heartbeat bill, then you know the baby is alive, because the question is, it's not a baby, it's a lump of cells. Well, if it has a heartbeat, it's a living creature. Okay, so if you're against the heartbeat laws, which say you can't have an abortion once a heartbeat is detected, that means you know you're killing a baby. Okay, and abortionists have been caught on camera saying they know they're killing babies. Okay, so it's really, really, really fucking, ghoulish zombie shit. Okay, like splatter movie stuff. Manson-esque stuff going on in the abortion clinics these days, okay? So, and it's abortion zealotry. And they're deathly afraid that abortion will be limited in some way. Even if the Supreme Court does not eliminate abortion entirely. Maybe the Supreme Court will say abortion should be turned back to the states. Some states will not have abortion at all. Some states will only have abortion for life, rape, or stuff like that. And some states will be throwing babies out windows alive and having them land on upturned spikes. Okay, let's remember that over here in New York, where I live, the Nazi gets sexual gratification from watching babies die. So it's a sick motivation. In fact, Justice Kavanaugh, when he was the lower court judge, he ruled against a 17-year-old illegal immigrant who invaded the United States for the sole purpose of having an abortion at taxpayer expense. Okay? Let us also remember that Justice Kavanaugh, I don't know if he ruled this way or if he just made a lot of judges will just even if they didn't rule on a case, they may write a professional opinion, and they may say, based on this law, based on this title, based on the Constitution, I believe this was right, I believe this is wrong. But Justice Kavanaugh, in one of his writings, he did write about Hobby Lobby. Now, Hobby Lobby is an arts and crafts store. You buy picture frames, you buy stands for, like the stand this is on right now, this iPad is on. It's a picture stand. Okay? You get things professionally framed, like my artwork. Okay? I bought frames that like Michaels, had these done at Michaels, which is an arts and crafts store. Hobby Lobby is an arts and crafts store. They're closed on Sunday because they want their employees to have either religious time or time with families. They offer their employees a little more money than most retail outfits rather, and they usually offer a benefits package. Keep in mind, I worked in retail for 18 months. I worked in the supermarket for 18 months, and I literally got nothing, period. I was a union member, paying $6 a week out of my salary, which was about an hour's work, and I got nothing in return. So when you tell me that you work at a retail outfit, and you have off on Sunday, you make more money than average, you have a benefits package, and you're complaining, I tell you to go fuck yourself. Now, Hobby Lobby, the owners, the board of directors are Christians, and they believe abortion is wrong. It doesn't matter that abortion is wrong, it matters that is their belief. And several employees, and they sell condoms, they sell birth control, they sell the sponges, they sell a lot of shit. They offer that. They offer that. They don't sell, but they offer it to their employees in a benefits package. Now, a lot of people, wait a minute, you're a Christian, but you're giving your employees condoms. Well, sex outside of marriage may be a sin, but abortion is a bigger sin. Okay, spreading AIDS is a bigger sin. So the toss of it, I'm Christian, I'll give you a condom. If that condom prevents an abortion, if that condom prevents the spread of AIDS, God will forgive me. Am I right? Okay. But Hobby Lobby would not pay for abortions. Hobby Lobby did not say the employee can't have an abortion. They said they will not pay for abortion. Now, if I sued my employer, the department, because they won't pay for my gun. Imagine that. Imagine if you worked in a store, any store, or if you worked for a police department or a fire department or a hospital, okay, or you worked somewhere, and you said, I want to buy a gun. I'm not buying the gun for work, I'm buying the gun for myself. And I want my employer to pay for my gun for me. Would the Democrats be upset about that? No. Okay? Now, interestingly enough, when the Supreme Court makes a ruling, they need to base that ruling on some federal law. The Constitution, for instance. Now, in 1993, every single Democrat in the Senate and the Congress voted for a law which says no American can be forced to do something that violates their religion. Doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong, you cannot force any American to do anything that violates their beliefs. I can't force a Jew to make me a pork sandwich. I can't force a Hindu to serve me a steak at a restaurant. Okay? I can't force a nun to make a porno film. Okay? You cannot force any American to do anything. That is why the cake shop, the guy could not be forced to bake gay wedding cake. That's part of the reason. And the federal law was signed by Bill Clinton. And the same exact Democrats that voted for that bill are condemning the Supreme Court for applying that law to the case. So Brett Kavanaugh says, like the Supreme Court did, Hobby Lobby should not be forced to pay for abortions. Translation: Brett Kavanaugh hates women. Okay, so this is the abortion question. Any hint that someone might be against abortion in any shape, way, or form, if they might place any limitation on it, okay? If a guy raped his 12-year-old stepdaughter and brought her for an abortion, okay, if the Supreme Court ruled the abortionist was required to call the police, the Democrats are real crazy over that. Okay, they want no limits on abortion, period. Okay, underage girls having abortions. Okay, and they've actually had stepfathers rape their stepdaughters, get them pregnant, bring them for abortions, and it was not reported. So doctors are required to report child abuse by law. And abortionists they call themselves doctors. Well, that means if an abortionist has a 12-year-old girl pregnant, he has to call the police. Because she's 12. She's not allowed to get pregnant under law. And here she's pregnant. Okay? So this is the world we live in. Any hint that abortion might be restricted in any shape, way, or form, they can restrict any right they want. They want to restrict the First Amendment. They want to restrict the Second. They want to write the Second Amendment out. Okay? Anything at all. Now, Justice Gorsuch, Dianne Feinstein asked him point blank, if the president told you you were going to the Supreme Court because he wanted you to overturn Roe v. Wade, what would you have said? And he said, I would have gotten and walked out of the room. Because a judge cannot be put on the bench for the sole purpose of voting a certain way. The judge has to be put on the bench blank, and the judge has to look at all cases equally, without prejudice, even if it's abortion. And that is why Justice Gorsuch was not accused of sexual harassment or assault. That is why. Because he said, I would have gotten and walked out of the room. Now, if Justice Gorsuch on the High Court now, if he is faced with the decision and he has to rule against abortion, like if a woman were to sue Planned Parenthood and she were to say, my 13-year-old daughter was impregnated by her 18-year-old boyfriend, and I'm suing Planned Parenthood in federal court because as her parent, I have a right to know that my daughter is pregnant, which is true. If a child is pregnant, their parent has a right to know. Because if they're pregnant by anyone older than them, the parent has an obligation to press charges. Okay? And all parents everywhere in this country have an obligation to know where their kids are, what their kids are doing. Is their kid taking medication? Is their kid going on a field trip? Okay? So if Planned Parenthood did not tell the mother that the child was pregnant, if Planned Parenthood did not call the police and tell the police the child was pregnant, the mother might sue. And Justice Gorsuch and other justices would look at the federal laws, and the federal laws already say, plus state laws too in every state, that parents have a right to know about their children being pregnant or being abused. And they would rule against Planned Parenthood. Okay? But because he said that, that calmed them down, and they didn't use the complaint. They most likely had someone that grew up in Justice Gorsuch's hometown who was willing to come forward for a lot of money. And Christine Blasey Ford, she was from Justice Kavanaugh's hometown, and she never even met him, but she's from his hometown. She's a liberal activist, and they had her on standby. 6 weeks go by, they can't stop him, okay? They cannot keep him off the court Okay, now I'll bring out the complaint. And when they brought out the complaint, Dianne Feinstein said, I have I have a reliable source that wishes to remain anonymous. A reliable source that wishes to remain anonymous means someone is lying and they don't want to go to jail for perjury. That's what that means. And Dianne Feinstein was hoping that when Justice Kavanaugh heard this, he would withdraw his own name voluntarily. But he didn't. So Dianne Feinstein leaked the complaint to the media because she knew the media hated him personally and would attack his family. And she knew that liberal activists would put his family in physical danger, and that might make him want to rescind his own nomination. Okay? And they kept delaying it, they kept stalling it for as long as possible because they wanted the story to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Okay? They didn't want the investigation right away. They wanted the investigation a month later, a year later, because they wanted the story to grow. Savvy? Okay. And we obviously know that Dianne Feinstein is the one that wrote the complaint. Okay, we agree on that? Okay, good. Now, here's the thing. Several people have said, I don't know how reliable this is, but several people did say that they saw Blasey Ford's Facebook page before she took it down. Does that mean they knew her personally? Or does that mean they rushed to Facebook to look her up when her name was released and they saw the page before it was deleted? And according to that page, she is an uber fanatical liberal activist, which is a surprise to me. Okay? And according to that page, she hated Hillary, they loved Hillary, hated the president, blah blah blah. Now, we knew the minute she opened her freaking mouth that this was political. Because if you watch her testimony, when she opens her mouth, she starts by saying that in 2016, it's online, look it up. In 2016, she saw the list of 22 judges that the president would consider for high court appointments. And she recognized the man, one of the men on the list, as the boy that attacked her in 1982, the year I was born. She told her congresswoman, who was an ultra liberal, out in California, because she's since moved from Maryland to California. Okay? Then, by her own admission, 2 years later, when Judge Kavanaugh was nominated for that spot, she chose to come forward and she contacted Dianne Feinstein, senator from her home state, who also happens to be probably the most disgusting person alive. A very, very disgusting person Dianne Feinstein is. I actually get chills looking at her. She's very disgusting. Morally, ethically, she has no sense of right or wrong, period. Okay? And they tried delay tactic. Now, one lie that Christine Blasey Ford said was that she's afraid of flying. Now, I don't know if she said it under oath, or if she told someone to tell someone. Okay, but she lied. She said she's afraid of flying. They pulled her passport and her flight records. She has flown to places that I can't find on a map. Okay, 12-hour flights, 16-hour flights, day-long flights. Okay, that was a lie, delay tactic. And she said, I chose to go the civil route, meaning I chose to complain this way rather than go to the police. Well, you don't get to choose. The Constitution is very, very clear. When someone commits a crime, the route is chosen for you. And the route is, you go to the police go to the DA goes to the judge, the person in question gets called to court, they're told the charges against them, they're given a lawyer, and they're given the right to either plead guilty and go immediately to sentencing, or plead not guilty and demand a trial. And at trial, they have the right to demand you testify against them in their presence. Yes, the defendant has a right to say, I am not guilty, and I want my accuser to come into this courtroom and testify against me. And I want to sit in this chair, and I want to look directly at them as they testify. And I want my lawyer to ask them questions. You have that right. As the person accused has that right. And the person accusing has two choices. Either A, drop their complaint, or B, testify. There is no choice. You are making the accusation. You must prove your case in the criminal court. That is your obligation. If the defendant says, I am not guilty, I demand trial, and you say, I don't want to testify, guess what? The case is thrown out because you failed to meet your obligation. So you're upset, he abused you, but you want to go this route. That is how you know it's politically motivated. Okay? You have to look with your eyes. And now we're hearing that she did it because of the abortion question. She was afraid abortion would be limited or eliminated. Well, newsflash, okay? If an NRA life member came forward and said that Judge Merrick Garland, who was the guy Obama tried to appoint, raped them, and then a year later we find out, well, I was afraid Merrick Garland would limit the Second Amendment, so I accused him of rape. That's not how it works. Accusing someone of a crime falsely under oath is a felony, regardless of the reason. Okay? If I have a girl and I call her a whore, if she goes to the police and tells the police I raped her, but her justification is because I called her a whore. Okay? So I did call her a whore, but I didn't rape her. Her telling the police I raped her, knowing she's lying, that's a felony. And it doesn't matter if your husband cheated, they have women, their husband cheated on them. Okay, fine. You still can't accuse them of rape. Okay? If you accuse someone of a crime and your motivation is anything other than, I honestly believe they raped me. Okay, if the motivation is anything other than you were victimized. You look at the Larry Nassar case. Okay? The girls believed they were abused, which they were abused. He took his bare hand and massaged their vagina. No gloves, under 18, no parental consent. Okay, he's wrong. And their motivation was, he hurt us. Now, if Larry Nassar was nominated to be Surgeon General, okay, and they came forward at the 11th hour to testify because they didn't want him to be appointed as that office, that would be in the wrong. And Christine Blasey Ford should face charges because I am sick of this shit. Okay, I am sick of people having to go to prison and other guys go scot-free. Okay, if you notice, every single person who is in any shape, way, or form connected to the president is targeted. Okay? And if you notice, there are people that have been caught committing perjury, caught planting evidence, caught doing all these crazy things to hurt the president, or to hurt his cabinet, or to hurt his appointees. And I'm sick of this shit. Because, little Kim had to go to prison because she committed perjury. Martha Stewart had to go to prison because she liked the FBI. Okay? You break the law, you go to jail. But nowadays, if you break the law, as long as you hate the president, you're clear. And Christine Blasey Ford's attorneys were all political junkies, fanatical liberals, okay, pawns, and it's fucking bullshit. Let her be investigated. Let her go to court. Let her get a jury. Let's see how it works out. And to the Larry Nassar victim, who received her Courage Award from Blasey Ford, okay, she posted a while ago on Instagram. She posted, you put like a quote on Instagram. Yeah, okay. And the quote was about boys and boys being abused, and boys are victims too, okay, and abusing boys is wrong. And she's even writing a book forthcoming about why we need to support boys too, why it's wrong to abuse boys too. And I reminded her on Instagram, I said, wait a minute, didn't you support Brett Kavanaugh's abuser? She deleted the post. And January of 2018, I told her point blank, I made the same pledge to her as I made to my favorite gymnast. I will always support you, as long as you do the right thing. I am free of my obligation. If that woman comes to me for any reason, I'm gonna tell her to go polish a fucking trophy.